see, what kind of background will I make today? Hi everyone. So my name is Robert Ramsey. I make various tools for artists, basically art solutions for people maybe with not enough technical background on how to make something, cutting out a few steps here and there to make things a bit easier, and making life easier in general. Art is hard. Okay, let's just put that there. Art is hard, and my job is to make your life easier. As a technical artist, that's kind of what we do, is we make life a little bit easier. So I put together this tool that basically makes art easier, and I've made a tool before this called Blip Paint that made making Commodore 64 style art easier, for me at least. Each to their own, whoever wants to use whatever they use, let them use their tools, and I'll make tools that work for everybody as well. So what I've got is a bunch of assets that you can plop down on your canvas and get some nice pretty backdrops for a game. You can already picture this being in some sort of parallax shoot 'em up or something like this. It reminds me a little bit of not Nemesis, what's it called? Not Galaxian, Gradius, yeah. So you get the Parallax Effect, which is something that I have enabled recently because I'm thinking of exporting each layer. It's quite nice. Exporting each layer out separately, so that if you were to make up your game, then you're basically only exporting each layer, right? And they're tileable, so you can spawn them in whenever and make some random background stuff. Depending what you're using, if you're using Unity, then it's going to be different from using Game Maker, so that code is going to be unique, right? Let's put a little medallion in there, look at that, yay. So we could almost bring in like a sprite and have it floating around here. It's a spaceship, by the way, look at that. Some foreground land. Some land 2, some land 3, ooh, some grassy land, this one. So it's different color modes. Not really modes, it's the way it picks the colors. There's 3 different methods that it uses. First one's random. The second one picks it from the sky, and yeah, that with some nice tones. And the third one picks it from the whole picture. Right, so you can tab through and get something fairly quickly. It's all about convenience, really. And you can rotate, change colors. And some mist, change the opacity. Look at that nice mist. So I'm working on different assets at the minute to make this look cool. Just know I've just got a bunch of kind of rough artwork. I mean, it's nice, it's pretty, right, pretty decent. Will it make your game stand out or anything like that? I don't know, but basically now we can look around, look at that. It's almost like a 3D sort of feeling. That's kind of crazy. So if you hold down the right mouse button, you basically get this three-dimensional effect between the parallax. If I turn off parallax, it just scrolls round in a kind of flat way, but with that on, it's pretty sick, right? So imagine your game looking like this with all these layers. You just have to use the same kind of algorithm that I've used, and that's basically, if this arrow was your ship, you know, I'm following it around and I'm using this kind of offset based on the layer number. So if you've got things in front and below, they move slightly at a slightly different rate, right? You get a slightly different offset, put it that way. Right, and I can always let you know what that algorithm is at some point, but that's pretty cool, right? You know, you can bring in your character in here, and like the whole scene's kind of jumping about. Good times. So there's also rain. So we've got rain here, 0 to fix that, X to swap it this way. Maybe we want the rain out in the background. So you can hover over these layers and you see previews of what's in them. You know, what did you place in there? Roughly. It's not 100% accurate because, like, as you can see, in this case it's not caring about the flip of these. Let's actually make it do that. Now I'm going to save this image because I think it's pretty cool. Maybe something I can show later, so I'll finish it up a little bit actually. Yeah, let's get some rain in. So I'll just make most of these kind of like whitish tones like that way they don't really have to use the mixing. And I'll just start dotting in some of this rain. I want to go in front of these guys and dot some in there. Right, it's very quick, I guess. You don't need to use your pen, but you can. It works with your pen, but there's no real need for it. There's no pressure sensitivity. There's no need for it. It's not like you're brushing the same as like in Photoshop or something like that. And that's the idea, that this is very kind of non-Photoshoppy, if that's a terminology. Basically just place things down like a sticker book. I really like those old sticker books. I used to like placing your characters in different places and kind of imagining these scenarios, and yeah, it's good fun. Right. Okay, so maybe some in front of those rocks as well. Let's go here. I like to get some hitting the ground. So where's the ground? Way up here. Okay, so a couple in here. So this is called Background Designer, and it's on itch, and I've just put it on ArtStation as well. So go to ArtStation and look for my name, click on my store, and you'll see Background Designer. It's free, it's an alpha, and it's just fun to try. Okay, I'm going to do some raindrops. I can make this smaller with the bracket key. I'm gonna go crazy with it. Some sort of machine gun. And you can also put these little kind of ripple marks here and there. I made a couple of these. that's my little weather brush set, right? Super basic. Let's finish this tree up. So the tree was in this layer, and go to the tree and start making some more branches. Now it's not so easy to get the colours back. That is one thing that I need to work on. But you can colour pick. I was thinking of having a kind of a system where you colour pick. Maybe you have it like it all selected or something, and it just samples a rough area around about the mouse or something like that. But I don't know yet. I don't know what's best. So just need to try a few things and maybe get some user feedback. So I'm just putting in some branches, and I'm using E and R to rotate them. You see I can connect these up and make a kind of custom tree real easy. So this is where it kind of sets itself apart from Photoshop, is that you've got like full immediate control of everything, and it is just like a sticker book. So you can flip things, rotate and tile things as well. Still working on bits, so you know, forgive me if nothing's perfect just yet. Well, forgive me. Let's put some leafy leaves in. So you see there's a few different bunches of trees, and some have leaves on them already, but I've made these sort of generic leaves as well. Let's just make it kind of, I'll choose that and click on it, change the colour. I get a little bit of variation there. And I want to bring this right into the foreground, so I'm going to go even higher in the layer there. Use flip X, so just pressing X, rotating. Now these are all using the same underlying colour system. So I use red, green and blue to identify these three tones. You can see like swap out blue tones, swap out red tones, swap out green tones, and that basically gives you everything you need. Now the best way to show you that is this rock 3 that I made. Perfect little cube. And basically the way I make these, and you'll see an example in ArtStation, blue tones, I make anything that I want to change here, I make it perfect blue, right? This is how it looks when I make it. That's what I'm going to show you. Red is that way, where red and green, right? And then this usually is black, and that gives me some sort of shading. So that's how it looks when I make it, right? I just love this. It's a flying box, and you can actually move to the layer and go behind stuff. It's almost like just your own little kind of computer game right here. It cycles around. Okay, so you can make up some cool stuff here. This rising cube. If I press tab, it's immediately going to go into mode 3. So I can see these two little dots here. Maybe have it easier to see. It's just a placeholder for me. It's subtle. So third mode, it's picked 3 colours from the scene. I don't know where it's getting this grey tone from, to be honest. I don't think it's sampling from the right area, because I don't see any. Well, maybe it's grabbed one of these. I don't know. It's getting some sort of grey from somewhere. This one is random colours, so it just randomizes each of these. So you see it swapped them out. And this one samples from the sky colours as mode 2. You can see the 2 dots there. And then this one samples from the scene, so bum 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 bum. And you can make up your own, of course. So anything black, you can change to that. That looks quite cool. It's quite ethereal. It's not very strong though. Oh yeah, there isn't a lot of black in it, so there's not a lot of black for it to swap out, but probably, yeah, you can kind of change these, change the effect of them. It kind of looks kind of metallic. The cube. You can rotate that around. Flip it. Scale it. Scale it right up. You know, you can make it go even bigger. You can make it go to scale 2. So I can turn this parallax effect off just by pressing P, right, and everything just becomes flat and normal again. I'm just going to place this cube here, the mysterious cube. Where did this cube come from? Nobody knows. Make a little tower. Oh, another cool thing is it works kind of like the same as Photoshop's history. So you can undo through the history, but it still keeps memory of it, and you basically overwrite that step, and then you can like redo all the other steps. So I could undo to this cube here, right? Dub, 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 dub. Put a small cube in and then redo, and I get this. I could even go to there, change the layer as far as I remember. Oops, I'm going to see it there, am I? I'm going to see it there, because it's behind it. I can put it behind it anyway, right? And then redo. Let's do that again, undo. Let's really put that way back here. Like you can barely see it's behind everything. Behind the rain, like it's far away. I'll make it a little bit more opaque to make it look like it's faded. And then redo, and I've got like that overlap in that one. So I think that's quite cool. I was making that, and I was like, I'm gonna keep that. I like that. I mean, like, I wasn't making it intentionally. I was just kind of like bumped into it by accident. I was like, that is actually quite a cool feature. So there's loads of things I still to make. I still get all the paths to make, and these guys, animals and people, and yeah, I might make the people like miscellaneous, because how many people can you actually make that matter enough, because you're going to have your character in there. I don't want to take away too much of the work, but I just want to see what people make with this, because it's like, it's very kind of Lego sort of feeling to it, where you can just like kit bash up a scene. They won't all look the same in the end. I mean, I've made quite a few scenes already. I keep using the same mountains only because I've got only 5 mountains, right? Future packs, like all of this can be swapped out. It might even be themed to like sci-fi theme background designer. This will be background designer standard, right? And then pay an extra £1 or something, you would get the sci-fi background designer, you know, and you just load it up and you can do everything you want in there. They won't be cross compatible, but I might make them in a way that if you loaded a project up from a different version, it would kind of just swap out all the sprites or something. I'm just talking rubbish. I'm just getting ideas for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Like that tree would become like a cyber tree. That's only if I made all the assets kind of one-to-one relatable, like they just worked correctly or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. What was I going to do there? I was going to fix something up. I forget. Oh yeah, I was going to play with this parallax power, so when I press P it doesn't just switch from 0 to 4, just to show you how crazy this can get. So this is Game Maker. This is what I use to make my tools. I freaking love Game Maker. It's just, it cooperates most of the time more than Unity does. Unreal Engine's just way too powerful to care about this kind of stuff. So I've used Game Maker to develop a couple of tools. Hair Strand Designer, which is doing really well, and Bullet Paint, which is more kind of just a tool for me to use, and it was more like an experiment, but it's a weird one. It's too weird to use for most people, but I'm enjoying it now and again. If I jump back to my like doing retro type graphics, because it's really easy to make pixel stuff in there, and Commodore 64 pixels. Nerdy. Yeah, nerdy. So when you press P here, this para power is the parallax power. You see it switches from 4 to 0. So that 4 is like a ratio that it moves based on the layer number. So if you've got something in layer 0, it's 0 times 4. It doesn't move. If something in layer 1, it's 4 pixels. And that's kind of spread over the length of the screen as you move the mouse around. So that is kind of how it works. So if I change this so that it always goes up, when I press P it always goes up, but when it gets to a certain amount, so I can say if para power is greater than, let's just go crazy, like 40, then it goes to 0. It doesn't have to exit, it just has to count. Has to equal to greater or equal to 40. There's no way it would pass it, but there we go. Let's see what it looks like when we do this. I love experimenting with this. I'm going Bob Ross style crazy. So spacebar will give us nice gradients, tab will give us some nice tones in the asset, or at least one will. And sometimes you get interesting effects. This is for the lazy artist. The whole thing's for a lazy artist, to be honest, but this is just like taking it a bit too far. At least customize the colors, why don't you? I mean, I need to watch that I'm not succumbing to the lazy side too much, because people that are artists who play this, they'll be like, yeah, it's way too lazy for me. It's just like there's no effort whatsoever. I make a nice sky, you know, it's a nice tones, like you can get the full range of colours in one brush. You can't do that in Photoshop, so eat my whistle, if that is a figure of speech, I don't know, I just made that up. Right. Shut up. Okay, so I'm just adding in some things, and pick a color here, flip it here, rotate it, scale it, whatever, go crazy. Right, what I always want to test is the parallax effect, so I want to make some yeah, let's go for these clouds, right, and just start layering them in. I want to make it like a, you know, when you're above the sky, above the clouds in the plane. You know when you're in a plane above the clouds? Can't speak right. You know when you're in a plane up above the clouds? No, I'm not. I'm on my chair in my room. What are you talking about? Do you know when you fly? I don't fly. Okay. When you're above the clouds, like this, you see clouds like this. I'm basically going up each layer, right? I'm making a kind of layered cloud effect. And each time I'm making the brushes a slight bit bigger as I come forward to the view, right? I can even make them come like right up like that, as if we're going through them. And you get this parallax effect. So when I press P now, this number should go up. It'll go 5, so that's even more powerful. So I'm just going to make it go quite high. You can already see it moving because as this value's getting bigger. Look at that, it's really moving now. And if I hold down the right mouse button, I get this whole, my god, it makes me feel a bit sick, but it's kind of like you're flying about. So does Photoshop do this crazy shit? No. Only because Robert Ramsey made it. You get crazy stuff like this. What have you been smoking? It does kind of feel like flying. I feel like adding a little bird in there. I do have birds, but they're in like some sort of cloud mixed up. Fog, isn't it? Fog 6. Right, let's go to layers. This one, 0. Tab. Let's see if we can get something quite dark. Dark, dark. Let's make everything dark. There we go. We've got our birdies, and I'm just going to click a few times. We've got a flock of birds flying around. Now let's go a little layer behind those. Flip, rotate a bit. I kind of want them to look different. And a parallax effect. You can kind of see them shift over each other. So if I press P even more, I'll go all the way up to 40. Oops, so 39 is the limit. Maybe I'll make that 41 then. 39, right, that is like the most parallax as it gets. That's actually quite effective. And then right mouse button basically is what's given me this strange effect. That was kind of by accident, that actually. cool, right? What? Da, 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 da. So then I could add some rain or whatever, some snow. Weather. Ah, see, can't see because it's black. That's not good. I don't want it to reset the brush every time you click on a new brush, because that would be annoying as hell. Like rotation and stuff, yeah, maybe like when you click on a brush, it resets the rotation. I think I will have that. Yeah. So yeah, basically I can add little kind of snowdrops in here, put them way in the foreground. I'll just undo those, overwrite those anyway. Now it's really shifting around, so I need to press P to turn that off. And then as I go down the layers, I'm going towards the background more, so I can scale things down a bit, and I put some more in there. Right, and if I want it to look different, I'll just choose one of the other ones. I've got loads. Got loads of different kinds, and it's just all for effect. This, so it means when you're showing off your work, you can make a little video of you kind of drifting around. So P, start to bring in the parallax effect. If I press B, I can turn the brush off, right, and I can basically just scan around here. Just do loads. That's snowing even more. So at 31, 39 is the most. The only problem now is that there's a whole lot of missing area where I can't get to paint. But you can pan around here and kind of, before it gets back, try and draw. I don't think it works that way. It's just going to draw up the corner. Try to break it, see all the bugs. Oh yeah, and once it gets to like 1,000 clicks, it'll basically give you no more clicks. That is because every frame, you see a frame drop as well as you go. Every frame, it's basically drawing everything again. It's not like storing it anywhere. It's just like, I'm going to redraw everything you've drawn. Every single frame it does that. It's just fast. Here we go, go down to 58 frames per second. I could probably spam the crap out of it with a big tree. Get a big tree in there. I love the big tree. Big tree is so nice. I just like the way it picks the colours and they look like a pencil drawing. That is completely intentional. You can see I can make some colours fade through as well. Or I think I've just made them a bit opaque. Yeah, that's sort of helped it so solid, transparent. I'm not too sure how that works, to be honest, but something to do with how it treats the black amount here. Don't even know one software. Terrible. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I just want to place that there. So I'm going to make some, just turn the parallax on again because I want to see how that looks. Oh, that's quite nice. It's kind of all stuck to the same plane though, isn't it? Just love that right mouse button when you do that parallax effect. It's pretty weird. Happy accidents. Oh, that was nice. A little tree coming up beside it. Oh, that's wicked. Right, let's get some leaves. I'm getting carried away as usual. Turn parallax off. The thing is now I have to go all the way round to that. Maybe I'll just make it a value, a higher value, because I like the way that moves around. Right, and then rotate that, and press X to flip it, or Y to flip it that way. X and Y basically. Yeah. I think because I rotated it. What? That's not right, is it? Oh. Alright, there's a bug, at least. There's a weird bug of it not. That's flipping right. That's flipping right, that is. It's fine now. It's when it's rotated, it starts to go a bit weird and gimbal. Some sort of gimbal weirdness. Okay, so I've added those in. P, let's go parallax A. Oh yeah, I was trying to spam it for frame rate, so I'll just put loads of these in. Some in the foreground, that is the foreground. Okay, some in the background, behind the tree. Let's press tab a couple of times, get a different tone. Let's go even further back, let's fade it out a bit. Even further back, let's really make them smaller, less opacity. Look at that. And then right mouse button, P a few times, P a few times. Press P a few times. Oh my god, P a few times. And then let's do some foreground ones with a slightly different tone. Let's see where it grabs. Some 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Put this up. Y, X, Y, R. Choose this one. I've customized colours, so pick that. Let's pick that. Go. Pretty as a picture. You can't zoom out or anything just yet. I'm not too sure how that is going to work. You basically have this working area, which is this, so that's a constant, and the final document size. So when you save it, you know, you're basically just saving. It looks the same when you turn parallax off, basically. I'll just make this 2 values. Yeah. Okay, so it's off, and then that's the image that you would get. Other than me being able to export all the layers separate for you, then you're kind of stuck with that one image. Still a nice backdrop, and I want to do more of these kind of pencil drawn sort of trees and stuff. I think that'll look cool. I'm going to do that in a second. Let's just go back to this power. Put that back the way it was, but I think I'll make a maximum of 100. Is that maybe too much? Wait a minute. That's not going to allow it to happen, is it? It's going to be adding. Yeah, that's it. Switcheroo. No, it's not doing it. Keyboard press P if power equals 100. Let's do. Because we start with it equaling 4. So start with it as 0, I think makes sense, because people will be drawing and be like, what the fuck's going on with this? It's moving about, something broken. So I still need to give people what they expect. I'm sorry if that ruins your amazing experience with my software. Look at this, it's crazy. Let's do random colours, random clicks. like an ethereal sky, and then I press B to hide the brush, P to turn on the parallax. Oh my god. It's mad strong. It feels like I'm more kind of inside that area though, like it's super strong. And it'd be good to go full screen on it, like press F or something that just goes full screen. I could do it. I could do anything in this, but it's just how much do I want to do at this point. And things like that, I want to like re-snapshot that looking like this. You can see how at the bottom though it's cutting through itself. It's not tiling as well anymore. But I think that's just because of the way it previews. In theory it shouldn't be doing the parallax effect at all down the bottom. That should only be happening at the top. In fact, that would save, not that it matters, but that would save a bit of performance, I imagine, the calculation side. Let me see if I can fix that. So, drawing the preview surface, draw this preview surface, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's no way around that because it's capturing it already. So it basically captures the image and it's just doing what it wants with it. It's just showing it. So, whatever. We're cool, right? We're cool. Let's make some more assets. So here's a nice little backdrop I made. I love these little silhouettes. Just the shit you can make with this is crazy. You know, just something. I like these two tones, and then press tab on some assets, and it just immediately gave me the tones that I wanted. There's that cube I was talking about. Here's how I made it. I split it into the 3 channels, red, green, blue, and basically made masks for each. So that's the green channel, red, and add them up. So put them into, they should be in additive mode, but because they're separate parts, it doesn't matter. But if you keep them additive, it means you can hide anything that's a certain color and still keep the other one because they're adding together. The masks both exist, but if you replace, you can replace it by accident. If you did something like that, right, that's replaced the green completely, as opposed to if I change that to add. Ew. Yeah, don't ask me how I'm getting that, but anyway, probably because of the green channel. Yeah, anyway, that is how these guys are made. And I'm going to make one anyway. There's a mountain, there's the tree, but I've done something with it. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the blue channel, green channel, red channel. But that's how I basically made that. So I want to make something. Let's do a little bridge. It'd be good to get the pathways done. So I'll make a new layer, get rid of that, and I'm just going to paint in black to start with. So I'll get my favorite pencil brush, full opacity, and we're good. So Control 1 to give me that full scope, right? Little bridge sort of thing. Can I imagine something built off that there? Maybe I see the side of it there. Right over this one. Like that. Try to do curved perspective of a bridge. It's just some little bits here and bits of wood, right? Take some bits away. So you can see how this would be pretty cool for making an adventure game or something. Like there's a building here, there's a entrance to the west, like bringing back those old adventure games. So if I can somehow turn this into that, which wouldn't be difficult, all I need is some sort of script, right, that works in the background, and I give it some commands like, you can go east, west, south, whatever. There's some objects here. I've thought about it a few times, making like the text-based adventure type things again, because they were just so immersive. They're like, it's kind of like halfway between reading a book and playing like a first-person shooter game, I guess. It brings back the whole reading a book sort of feeling, in other words, which nobody really does much of, at least I can assume so, because yeah, internet, blame the internet. Who's watching, by the way? I don't know who's watching. Saddest Kitty. Hello. Hello, Saddest Kitty. Right, so that is going to be this. I guess there'd be some sort of river down here, otherwise why would there be a bridge, right? So I'll just kind of mimic a little bit of that. It's up to me to paint that in later. So I've got that, right, and now I need to do my color coordination underneath, so I'm going to change that to multiply so I always get it, right, and I'll actually duplicate it up a bit and just play with the strength. Okay, that's cool. There's layers. Photoshop's still very much good for all this stuff, right? So base color blue, so I usually do like full blue like this, right? So this is the base color of everything, so I'm coloring in all this good stuff here, right? Later I can decide what to make the different channels. So I've got red and green channels, so imagine most of this was brown, right, a brown bridge, but I maybe got some like dirt or something on it, like a bird poop on the edges, because they perch there, right, and they poop all over it. That's what they do best, they poop on things. Poop, poop, they just like pooping. Birds are poopers, and a party of birds is a party pooper. No. Right, so I can do that sort of thing. Let's leave a few little gaps here and there. Right, and then I would basically lock the pixels, and I can paint in some of that black tone again to think of like overall shadows, right? So I'll just bring that in. I can probably go to the multiply layer and do that, to be fair, but with the pixels being locked, it means it's just contained within wherever there's pixels, right? I can just make some little kind of tonal adjustments like that. Nothing remarkable. Now I can change this to the red channel, so I usually go from blue to red, because they kind of, red kind of looks brighter than blue, even though they're exactly the same value, just looks brighter, and green is the most vibrant. So I've turned it to add mode, and now I can kind of like assume some like a little kind of highlight up here, because the sky is making direct contact with the top parts, so I can kind of bring that in. So these are like my little highlights, and I'm using additive mode. Oh, I should be using additive. I'm actually using replace. Well, I'm using normal, which is kind of like replace mode. You know what, it doesn't matter too much. It looks pinkish enough to me. But if I switch this to add, it means it kind of keeps that channel intact. instead of it being kind of overwritten. So I'll do that and make even more bits and do little splodge marks here. You'll see how all this works out soon. Once I bring this in to Backdrop Designer. Oh no, there's the washing done. Need to put the washing out. Oh dear. Right, so I'll put some little poop marks here. That's the kind of sound effects they make as well. That's when they hit you. Shit, was that? Good luck. Alright. Oh, is that what it's? Good luck? Okay. Right, so you got all that in there, and it doesn't matter about the rest too much. It's just a suggestion of stuff, so I can kind of leave it like that. Let me just paint a bit more red in for those bottom bits. They need broken up a bit. So we're in additive mode. It means I'm going to keep what's there, right? I'm going to keep those bits. I'm going to do little hinters, and then back to this layer just to finish off some of this stuff. It just looked like it was missing that. Right, it's quite etchy and sketchy and nice and stuff, and I think that looks cool. So I'm just going to trim everything up, save that out. This is going to be a path, I guess. So new folder, paths, and I'm going to call this S-Path1, because that's how awesome names are born. Back to GameMaker. Now you don't obviously need to do this. I'm going to have you guys download GameMaker, buy GameMaker, install this, and then add sprites. These things will all be there for you, right? Everything's going to be in the software for you, and it will mount up to it being a chunky bit of software, maybe a gig max. I don't see, probably won't reach that, to be honest. Maybe half a gig, but yeah, be fine. So paths. I'll call this path. Wait a minute, that is an object. Delete that object. What I want is a group. Create group. Paths. Okay, might be a conflict in the name there because we use path. See, so anyway, sprite this path 1. I think that's how we do it. Yeah, and then import my sprite, my little bridge. Always put the axis middle center. It's the easiest thing to work with. And now that that's there, I just update my little brush list to say, by the way, we've now got a path. So whether, just check this, whether then paths. So path 1, and this will be my paths, and then that will be number 8, and we should have a bridge. Obviously I've lost all my working from the last thing, unless I figure out how to load link save projects, which isn't difficult, just a massive array, but it needs to save. Like it will be 1,000 plots of various things, so end up a bit of a file. Right, paths, path 1, yay! So as you can see now, everything is customizable because of those color codes, those color masks. Like red, green, and blue is basically 3 separate things. They're grayscale masks, and I'm using them in the shader. I'm looking at each channel and basically saying swap that out, swap that out, swap that out. So we can swap everything out for whatever we want. Right, so maybe I want to jump in layer 10 or something here. Let's make this look like a proper little dark jungly scene or something. I want to really test this. Yeah, something like that. Let's pick some colors. Random's not cutting it for me, so let's see. Black, we'll go dark brown, really dark brown. And for the main color, yeah, kind of brownish. For the highlights, I'll go kind of greenish. And the bird poops, well, kind of like a kind of grey brown maybe. That's cool. So I'll place that somewhere in layer 10. I want a little bridge over here. I kind of want to make it make sense with perspective as well. Like that over there, yeah, it somehow it's rotated it a bit because I see more of that side. If I push it more, it's even more rotated. Okay, I get it. So I'm going to put that there. And let's get our nice tree in. We can even keep that the same color scheme as well. Or I can change this to something a bit warmer. Oh, that's nice, like a little campfire happening beside it. Bring it into the foreground and therefore move to the foreground. I want to really move this closer area. I'm going to press P to turn that perspective on. Jeez, that's fucking strong. Alright, 100's a bit high. But P then B to hide the brush. You can really see how much range there is in this now. It's a bit crazy, to be honest. Okay. Well, I did put it way up at layer 19, mind you. So we want stuff in the background. That's going to turn off that. Put some land in. Press B for the brush. Let it pick some colours. That's not bad. Is that mode 3? That's mode 3. Where's it getting this grey value from? Seriously? Is it from the backdrop? Okay, I'm going to fix that. It's not picking the colours right. That is mode 3. It should be picking from... Let me just take a note of this. Pick from 325. 185 down to, let's just do it within that area, so 1585 and 880. I'm going to fix that right now, so that is under get pixel, something like that. Draw get pixel, there we go. Working area plus W offset random. Area height. Okay, I mean, it's always going to be the same there, so you just change that to random 325 185. Oh no, wait a minute. 325. This is X, so 1585 and random 185 880. Okay, that should be better. Let's change that 100 too high equals 100 power 100 is too much. Let's do 40. Was quite nice actually. I like the number 40. It seems to crop up now and again. Cool. So bridge, pathway, bridge. So yeah, if I put that like somewhere here, it looks very snowy. I like this. Some mountains in the background, background's way down here. Really scroll that out, really put that way back here. Let's get a few more in there. Oh, that's a tileable. Nice. P to turn parallax on. You can see I just moved that out. Need some more points of reference. So there's 0. Get some land. It's quite nice. Let's do it a little bit faded. It's feeling quite icy. I've got under rock actually. Rock 1, 2, 3. Oh, that would be good for the river. Make it look icy. Let's see. Ah, that's good. It's like an icy river. Okay. Yep, that'll do that a bit. So yeah, if you find yourself, you don't want to wait on your artist making something, you can just come here and go, this is roughly what I need. Give this to an artist and they'll make it look amazing. You know, they might even be like, you know what, that's fine. Just roll with it, dude. That is good. Whatever that guy made, be proud of it. So I'd be happy if people used it this way. I don't know. Mysterious cube. It's the Blender cube. Default cube is here. You can rotate it, but it rotates like this. You can flip it. Ah, see, it's flipping on its own axis. That's why. Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm a dildo. I don't know what I'm talking about. What is he talking about? Right. So good that reset the. So if I rotate this, come off it and go back, yeah, it refreshes it. That's good. We want that. That's nice. Well, I'm all in the wrong planes probably as well. Oh, you see the parallax be weird. Oh no, it's so weird. Yeah, well, the parallax thing is just a bit of a trivial bit of fun. I just like it. I like the way it kind of does this. Wow. So amazing. The bridge is like super big, but it works. Put some of these in. Little rogues. Hey presto, we need some clouds. We need some snow. Yeah, let's get some snow and let's get some snow and snow and snow and snow and snow and snow and layer 23. We're on basically like the highest layer. Let's bring that up to whites. Let's bring this up. Make a snowy picture. It's like it's only started snowing. You know that because like none of it's really touched the ground just yet. But if we use some funky fog like this, we could probably get some snow landing on top of things. I seriously need to see people use this software. I want to see what people make. So I guess for that I just need to get it even more ready. Oh, that was a boo-boo. Obviously the parallax effect breaks when you go so far apart with the layers. I think 10's maybe like enough. Maybe 10 is probably enough. Let's make something else. I'll make another bridge in a minute, or a pathway. I'll make a pathway soon. What we could do here is we actually choose the sky top to be this colour, the sky bottom to be this colour. Hey, that was the wrong one. Sky bottom to this colour. And then like push that a bit, push it. Come on, push it more. Push it more. Push it more. Push it more. Ah, I love that. It's like it's in the foreground. Wow, look at the way that blue pierces through there. See, that's the things that you get in nature. You get these really subtle hue changes, and that's why I did all this kind of random stuff, because you want these happy accidents that you wouldn't normally think about if you're painting something. You don't think about colour theory. It's the last thing in your mind. To be honest, I still don't get colour theory very well. All these kind of, obviously you wouldn't put this in a weird place down there. You need to be a little bit aesthetic with things. So as soon as I see people using this wrong, I'll come down on them like a ton of bricks, trust me. I'll be like, no, you're using it wrong. Karen mode activated. And speak to the manager. Seriously, I will. That's what I do. I'm Scottish. I do these things. I get crazy. I want to make that really orangey. Oh, look at that. And I've actually got a brush here somewhere. What is it? Is that a fog one? Yeah. Call it fog, but I don't know what it is. I need a miscellaneous. And actually, you see all these dots? I can actually take these out by putting the sliders down and just be left with the one that I want. I can change this mode to that, and I'm just left with this dot. And I can use that to beef the sun up. Beef up the sun, yo. Beef up the sun, yo. Make that really yellow, yo. Alright, let's go back to some fog. pick some randos. Ah, that's nice. And let's take these out. Just want to be left with that. Let's seal that up. Yeah, nice hazy sky. And I can basically, so I can use like one color for all of this. So I, you know, switch it to this mode. Like all the brushes will be single color. Right, put that right up. Press 0. Like everything's just single color now. Ah, but I messed that up. So you don't use tab because it'll reset these. Maybe I need to switch that off. But basically, like everything's just that, and you can color pick, and everything's just that one color now. So that's a cool thing, right? Solid mode. Like everything is. As soon as I take that down, it's going to be faded. As soon as I put this up, in fact, that's okay if that's up. But basically, I'm just in this kind of solid sort of dress up the scene. In fact, I'll go a layer. If I put perspective on, yeah, all this is background sort of, and a nice tiny bit of parallax there. I want more than that. Put it in a higher layer. It's nice. I'm really going to push that around. That is the sexy side of this program. Sorry, I said a bad word. Cool. I meant cool. Right, and I bring in a bit of that tone, or this one, or even that one. Change these to some really vivid. Yeah, boy. Flip that way. Really busy up this tree. Add a few more bits to it. And a bit of perspective. You can rotate this guy and make some bushes. Why don't you make some bushes? Kind of empty without the stuff in front, all that nice stuff in that layer. So basically that's everything contained in this layer. That's everything in that layer, and that's really that. So we could put stuff in front of layer 4, like mountains. Use the tab trick to get some nice tones. Now you don't want to use that one, that's a tileable, and make sure that if you're using a tileable, you need to be basically on a fixed scale. So you use Control, press T, and that will do a job of tiling it. It's purely optional. I prefer these ones where you can kind of just place them down. Look at that, look at this. It's like a lake. You can actually flip that around, put it in a layer below, and get like this kind of reflection. I'm going to go to my skies because I know there's a cloud layer, that one. It's really, yeah. Oh, let's actually pick the sun. Let's go even more fronted than that. And then pick some really, really orangey. Flip that around, flip it in the Y. I want it to look different. Scale it down, get a few in there, flip it in the X, flip it on the Y. Let's just make that more whitish. Ah, man. Get goosebumps looking at it. Press P, and we get this nice little perspective-y sort of thing. Looking around. I do want to be able to paint down here though, because this thing can keep going. You could literally keep pushing this thing. It just keeps going. I don't know how that works, but I do want to paint some ground. Let's see if I can just throw in some land. Pick some nice tones. Come on. Nicer than that. That's about right. So if I scale this right up, flip it round, yeah. I think I might have to disable the flipping. So I'm gonna reset the rotations. Yeah, do the same there. I'm gonna use this tilde key, whatever you call it, one at the top. Right, and now if I look down, yeah, I've got that full bit down there. Well, let's put that on the same layer as these though. It's a bit too weird. So I went down a layer, didn't I? No, I went up a layer. So if I've gone up a layer, it's closer, which means it's bigger. Right, and I'll do that tilde key and just click a couple of times. Right, so now when I look down, ah, oh, that's magic. What the fuck have I made? Ah, oh, dude, I need to record that. That is fucking crazy. I never expected any of this weird shit to happen, but I'm so happy it's happened. I'm sure people will love this. It's absolutely crazy. Ah, man, that is crazy. I do need the ability to swap things out of a layer though, like click on layer 7, auto detect what's in there, cut it out, go to like a different layer and paste it in. That would be cool. That would be the ultimate. So I need auto select layer based. It's got to be layer based because otherwise it would be a fucking nightmare trying to find stuff. Kind of like Photoshop when you right click on a layer on your select mode, it kind of gives you the object. I should be able to work that in. Magic. Got loads of stuff still to do, loads of stuff to make. I just want to add a bridge real quick to see what it looks like. Give me a good colour. Come on, do better than that. Let's just do it manually. I'm going to pick that one, make it a little darker. I need to get it to update the colour right. So far it's gone well though. I could put a wee bridge down the bottom here, behind all this. Is that right? Behind, so behind means closer. So behind all this stuff. Well, I know that's in front of it. Yeah, so it's one layer. Right, cool. Let's make that darker. You can press enter, by the way. It will give you different mixes. That's nice. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. You see what it's doing, it's kind of fading out. These two are kind of like conflicting with each other, and I'm not even sure if I need that, but I've not got it all figured out just yet. I'm going to fade that a tiny bit. Okay. That's wicked. Looks a wee bit out of place, that's the only thing. I think it's just not quite working. That's better. If I flip it that way, put it in there, rotate it a bit. That's mad. Right, I'm just gonna mess about with this now, like, I'll make up a proper speed video of this, because this is some sort of magic. It's a kind of magic. Down, down, down. And cut. Sweet. Alright, thanks for watching, all my one viewers. Need more viewers in my life. I'm the saddest kitty, not you. Me. Anyway, fix some bugs. That will be in the next update. I can't be rolling out 10, 15 updates a bloody day. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and give me money. Nah, just use this and post some art. That would be good. Please. Bye.